Okay, going live now.
Cool. Yeah, let me know when we are on air.
So we are live.
Awesome. Yeah, hello everyone. Maybe I think it's probably a good. I think it's probably a good time to just let the people come in for a couple of seconds. Yeah, we actually have a new team member. I think he hasn't made it into the chat yet, right? Brandon, where is he? There he is. And June, could you give me the privilege to share my screen, please? That would be great. Hi, Brandon.
Hi, Brian. Hello. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, and welcome.
Hey,
welcome to the community call. For all of you watching, this is Brandon. He just joined in. He's doing an internship with us as a software developer. He was in the community for quite some time already, and yeah, super excited that he is now helping officially and more actively. And yeah, excited to have you on board, Brandon.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be a part of Gelato and really honored as well. And I hope to learn from you guys.
Yeah, I think you will definitely come out of this internship with a lot of stuff you learned. But yeah, so I guess we can kick things off. Yeah, this call is basically first of all to do like a small celebration, and we're all remote here, but just like to have a small get together to celebrate the 1 year anniversary of the first version of Gelato, the first official audited version of Gelato that was deployed to Mainnet roughly 1 year ago. And I think I can share my screen real quick. Got some images prepared that provide some context for everything. And yeah, so this was a tweet back then. You see this, if you can see my screen, it was July 3rd, 2020, roughly around a year ago, when we made it official that kind of like Gelato launched. And yeah, we rebranded this as a tool for developers to automate smart contract executions on Ethereum. And yeah, little do many people know that this is kind of like how it all started. Before that, this was a UI that I wrote, which please don't judge me on that. But yeah, basically what you did here, that was in the first version of Gelato, and you had like a couple of conditions on the left and a couple of actions on the right, and you could select kind of like, hey, if the price on Kyber or on Uniswap drops below Y, for example, you could execute a trade on Kyber or on Uniswap, for example, if this condition is fulfilled. Or you could, for example, if 5 hours have passed, then please send some money to a friend, for example. So we developed a small UI with kind of like a first version, completely unaudited. Just deployed this to mainnet, and people actually used it. They liked it quite a lot. And yeah, for example, the likes like Andre Cronje, he was really pumped about it back then. And I think he also realized how an infrastructure like what we built in the back end, what it could enable eventually. And yeah, he was also he was already anticipating that it will be probably quite interesting, quite helpful for developers like him to have something like that. And yeah, so back then we received some grants by some people to further build out the system, and we actually launched Gelato V1. And the first customer we got was Hal. They had this UI which enables you to set some triggers and off-chain actions, like you can get notified if the gas price drops below a certain threshold. And what they did with us, for example, they actually allowed people, there was this gas token hype back then, and they allowed people to mint gas tokens when the gas price was cheap. And they did that using kind of like Gelato's infrastructure in the back end. It was one of the first live use cases integrated. It was pretty dope. And yeah, we did a lot of stuff in between, and Instadep soon followed as another customer. And after a lot of iterations, we kind of like ended up with, after also raising some funds, we ended up with our current Gelato V2 protocol that is currently being live, and where we really saw a significant increase in usage in the recent month. And this was mainly what kind of like the last quarter was about. And I'm now slowly transitioning from the university to kind of what we did in the last Q2 of this year. And yeah, I think, as you know, we shipped quite a lot of very useful features, ranging from limit orders on Uniswap, on QuickSwap, on SpookySwap, on Phantom. So you basically limit orders across all EVM chains, most of EVM chains, to dollar cost averaging on Mainnet, to just very lately GUni, so automated liquidity management, which was already used by Instadep, and also a couple of other smaller features that we shipped and that are used in the back end. For example, Chainlink node operators are using Gelato to top up their clients, or other smaller use cases that don't get that much limelight because they are kind of like less sexy, but also very useful. And yeah, the kind of like the traction of Gelato really picked up speed in recent times. And just to give you a couple of figures, in this period of time, we had roughly 1,930 transactions on Mainnet through Gelato. We had over 5,690 transactions on Polygon, and with that, we are actually one of the most used dApps on Polygon. I think we are the 18th most used app on Polygon, and this number is actually only the transactions that are basically executed by the bots on Gelato, like all the user-facing transactions of people, for example, placing orders on QuickSwap on Polygon and stuff like that. They are not even counted in there. So this is literally just transactions executed by bots, and we are slowly rising in ranks. And yeah, you see another, like a couple of really big names that are still behind us there. But yeah, we want to pick these numbers up, obviously, and we want to get into the top 10 for the next quarter. And yeah, so we also launched on Phantom. We have roughly over 1,500 transactions executed on Phantom. There we have this integration of SpookySwap, and there's also a new one soon to follow. So we will also hope to increase our numbers there. But I think it's already a significant improvement to before, and we are slowly picking up some speed in that regard. Then also a couple of numbers. We, for example, had recently one day on Polygon where we, through our limit orders, had over $2 million of volume in a single day, which was quite huge for us. And then what is also very interesting, I think, is our first GUni pool launched, which is an ERC20 wrapper around Uniswap v3 liquidity pool positions. And as you see, if you go to the, this is from the Uniswap stats page, if you see how the liquidity is distributed, you see that literally 99% of all liquidities probably comes from our two GUni pools that we have, which is kind of like the first one you see, and then you see the tick, and this is kind of like the second one. And I think the second one provides people with more liquidity mining incentive. That's why there's more liquidity in there. But yeah, I think that clearly shows the huge potential of something like GUni for teams that launch their tokens, because they really can completely get all the liquidity of Uniswap v3 in one or two contracts and basically decide for themselves where they want to position it, right? They could have this huge sell wall, they could have this huge buy wall, for example, and this just creates a whole new dynamic for teams that launch their token. And yeah, some figures around that. I think last time I checked, there was like $6 million or something in these contracts. As you can see, they had like the instead ETH pool had 290K in volume. And last time I checked, I think there was around 8% of the circulating supply of INS tokens are actually in those GUnit pools. So like a huge chunk of the all available Instead tokens are actually in that contract of ours. And I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, this is just the first GUnit pool that will launch. We got a couple of more ones in the pipeline. And yeah, so looking ahead, obviously we have a lot of plans for Q3. Q2 was all about just getting the Gelato V2 infrastructure up and running. We did so, getting the first integrations with one of our with our products live. We have the limit orders, we've got the order liquidity provision, and we also have debt management, which will soon come up. And yeah, so with the limit orders, we recently released our newest library, which can be used by any debt aggregator or website out there, and they should be able to implement our interface and our smart contracts and our infrastructure within a couple of minutes in their React user interface. Of course, it varies per integration, but this is like a huge milestone for us. I think there's no other limit order library in Web3 which is as easy to integrate as the Gelato one. So yeah, I think that's huge, and we will further improve it over the next couple of months, and we will help more developers to hook it up. And the goal is really to have this our limit orders on every major website out there, and people using it to be able to get the centralized exchange user experience, also the decentralized exchanges. Then for GUnit, someone in the community actually created a meme which was very fitting. The GUnit LP tokens, this is what lending protocols, for example, like Maker or Aave probably really want. They want some fungible tokens where LPs can deposit these to actually take out a loan from them and maybe go leverage or do any other cool things, lend that money out. And yeah, so we are already in talks with the Maker community. There was recently a signal request being posted to use GUnit as one of the collaterals of the Maker for Maker Vault owners. And I think this is super cool because yeah, with GUnit, people can literally just take all their stable coins, they can put it in Uniswap, they can earn trading fees, and they can actually then borrow more DAI from this liquidity pool position that is earning them fees passively, and actually getting more USDC, more DAI from there, and going leverage, and then really making liquidity for USDC DAI super, super deep on Uniswap, probably like the deepest you can get to in any centralized or decentralized exchange. And this will probably also help DAI's peg. And yeah, I think it's a really cool opportunity. And yeah, let's see if that happens. But this is exactly what GUnit was built for. And we don't only have GUnit in the limit orders, we also have a very cool debt management system that we've been working on. And we recently received a grant by Aave for that to protect users from liquidation on Polygon. And yeah, this has been in the making for a couple of months. We haven't exposed that to end users yet, but we will pretty soon. And we are working on something there to enable everyone to interact with it. And this will be also huge. And this is basically our three pillars at the moment: limit order, automated trading, automated debt management, and automated liquidity provision management all together. It's kind of what we are focusing on right now. And then there are all like a lot of small use cases that we've been hacking on in between and helping other developers that want to use Gelato as an infrastructure for it, that we are not mentioning right now. But yeah, probably Q3 we'll have more time as well to implement those. And the goal here is really to have and to make it as easy as possible for every developer to hook up their use case to Gelato, leverage the infrastructure, not having to worry about maintaining and creating it, and really being able to build completely serverless applications, right? You use Ethereum for the state and the logic. You use the graph, for example, to query parse data, and you use Gelato to automate smart contract functions without you're having to run any server-side logic. You can literally just plug up a JavaScript frontend, and you can create you can combine any arbitrary use cases together to create something cool. This is kind of like the power of DeFi. And yeah, and then of course, what a lot of people have been requesting and waiting for, the launch of the GEL token will happen in Q3. We've been working on it in the background for quite some time. We are now very confident that it will happen pretty soon. And I think we will release more information about it in the next 2 weeks or so. This will also kickstart the governance of Gelato. Governance means that we will have a DAO where people can vote on a lot of things that will be very important for Gelato to be self-sustainable and to avoid us being the central point of failure in the long run, to really have it be this neutral, decentralized infrastructure piece that everyone can leverage. And even if the lights in all the Gelato offices around the world where we all live go down, it still operates nicely. So yeah, we are kickstarting this process with the launch of our token. This will be really exciting. And yeah, it will happen in this quarter. And yeah, we will soon release all the necessary information around that. Yeah, so these are kind of like the rough outlooks for Q3. I think we got a lot of stuff to do. We are hiring. In case you're watching and you're thinking, hey, can I participate in any way as a developer, as someone doing growth or operations? Definitely always get in touch. We are looking for new people. Yeah, I think if anyone, I don't know if we have any questions in the chat. If not, we can also keep this rather short. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, those are watching, and then yeah, we'll be happy to answer them. Do we have some, June?
Yes, we do. Someone has question for Dave. Dave, do you want to take that? The collaborations?
Yeah. Hey, everyone. So in terms, the question is, was looking for collaboration with the Alchemist team. Are you going to work together with the Alchemists? We have talked to them. We're still talking to them, but I cannot confirm nor deny a collaboration. If there is, you'll see an update and announcement from our end.
Love that cannot confirm or deny. Great legal talk there.
Yeah, but in general, we are open to collab with everyone out there, every project out there. Please feel free to reach out to us, to Dave, to Dan, to June, to any one of us. We are super happy to help you, given our resources. And yeah, we want to push this space forward collectively. And so yeah, collabs are a great thing to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And someone asking, will GEL token have any sort of staking mechanism? Yes, we do.
Yeah, I can take it if everyone's quiet. So GEL will have some staking. Like we have this white paper where we outline the initial functionalities of the GEL token, and staking is one of them. Especially for the node operators called executors in the system. They will have to have a certain amount of GEL tokens that they stake in order to be eligible to execute transactions in the Gelato network. The idea here is that they have economic stake so that we can ensure in a more trustless manner that they actually adhere to the kind of like social contracts that we define in the system, which are, hey, please execute these transactions reliably, don't censor any, don't front run sandwich users or whatnot, right? So please execute these transactions in a reliable and acceptable fashion. And yeah, this economic stake can be used to basically hold them accountable. And we have the DAO that can vote upon and monitor these people that are running these nodes, and if they misbehave, they're not only a social stake but also now economic stake, and we hope to make the system more resilient through that. anymore?
People just really thankful. So thank you guys so much. And then, yeah, it's celebrations.
Yeah, we need to see those comments somewhere like in the screen at some point. Like
yeah, we're supposed to, but not today, maybe, no, it's for sure next time. And also we're gonna be in Paris next month. So if any of you happen to be Paris, so join us.
Yeah, for those who don't know, ECC is happening, the Ethereum Community Conference, I think. And yeah, there are some interesting talks. We will also be having a workshop there, how to automate your smart contracts using Gelato. And yeah, we will just be around there. And if you want to reach out, definitely do. Happy to connect. And yeah, a lot of people from the team will be there.
And IZ Cards asking, are most of you guys a software engineer? No, I'm not. I'm from business background, and I think, yeah, so we are going to do a series of Medium posts and introduce each one of us. So stay tuned, and you will get to know more about us very soon.
Yeah, but yeah, we come from a variety of backgrounds, right? We have some software engineers, we have some people that come from a sales and marketing background. We have Faye as a designer as well. Yeah, we come from all sorts of disciplines, but I think we are a decent mix that cover all like the small aspects of what a startup needs at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a question about MEV there, a follow-up about the staking. If that means you get MEV protection with Gelato, that's kind of an interesting question.
Yeah, do you get MEV protection with Gelato? MEV, flashbots, and all these things we are looking into. We see that as a very important aspect of reliable transaction execution for the near future. So for those of you who don't know, MEV stands for miner extracted value, right? And miners, they order the transactions that get into a block, and they can order transactions in such a fashion where they can, if you do a trade, for example, move the price on the exchange where you are doing the trade in such a manner that they can extract some value from your transaction, basically. And yeah, there are ways to circumvent that. There are various solutions. They all have some pros and some cons, but we believe that we basically, or every application should adapt to these circumstances. And like a year ago, MEV was like theoretically possible and people were fearful, but nowadays it's like actively used, and there are these websites where you can first see, I think, how much like you got front run by front runners, but also I think nowadays how much MEV, how MEV affected you. And it's a real concern, especially for larger trades. And so this will be like we are working on some solutions there, though it hasn't been our full, like our highest priority as of now, because we see it as an optimization on the execution level. And we focused on basically the supply of transactions first. So basically on the integration side, making it as easy as possible to integrate Gelato. And as soon as we then have kind of like a significant traction on this side, then I think we will shift more resources on the optimizing the reliability or the optimization of the execution and getting the best return there. Though we already have some small measures in place where we guarantee that right now, and we make sure we always optimize for the best executions of the users. And this is Gelato's aim, definitely, that the basically for each transaction executed through Gelato, we should only extract the least amount of value for operators, for miners, for front runners, for anyone, basically. So maximize user utility and minimize extracted value. But yeah, it's still a long way to achieve that.
So what's the next for Juni? Ari, do you want to take that?
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think we already spoke a little bit about, we have this maker proposal out, so that's pretty exciting. If we were a collateral type on Maker, this would certainly boost the usage of GUnit pools. Don't know how much alpha I'm supposed to leak here, but I think that we have, it's now possible to permissionlessly create GUnit pools arbitrarily. So we have this factory deployed to Mainnet. And so the next step is getting it hooked up with a number of UIs and aggregators so that it's easy for users to interact with different GUnit pools. But it's exciting because it's possible Gelato will make sort of the default GUnit pools that most people will be jumping into. But for me, one exciting thing about where the direction this could go is people creating GUnit pools for their own reasons or their own use cases that are maybe not something that Gelato has envisioned yet, but it might be a useful sub protocol and something at some other DeFi thing you're doing. So I'm really excited to see how that factory gets utilized.
Yeah. So like everyone can create GUnit pools, everyone can define their own management style of managing liquidity. You can have like 1,000 people competing against each other and seeing who performs best. And yeah, you can just as a user ape in to these pools and enjoy the ride and see that you of course select them wisely, and we will deploy our own ones that we maintain very conservatively, but anyone can deploy them potentially. So it will be interesting to see what comes out of it. And yeah, we have some parties that are already interested in deploying their own ones, managing their own ones. So yeah, you will hear more about it in the next days or weeks to come. But yeah, the hard work has been done.
It is a good idea, Goni. Some sort of EPNS integration could be looked into.
Yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah, what's popping with Goni? What's happening, man? How are you doing? He should be in a call one day.
He's been here from the beginning.
Yeah.
The true OG.
Yeah, add some guests into this side of the call one day. So
yeah, do we have some more questions? Otherwise, I think yeah, this time a briefer community call.
Yeah, so looks like we don't have that many questions, but people can, if you guys have any question, just post in the chat and also ask us, tag us on Telegram, Discord, and then let's wrapping up. Because we're gonna drop something really soon. So we have to back to work. It's fun.
Oh, yeah, some exciting stuff coming out soon, right?
Yeah, it's really soon.
Really soon.
yes.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, then thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure to hit the subscribe button as always. Follow us on social media. If you wanna always get the latest news, we're doing these like I think bi-monthly or like every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So not too much, but also enough to always get a bit of information what we're up to. And yeah, we're working hard in the background to make everything work and to realize our vision. But yeah, of course, good things take time. So bear with us. But yeah, we are excited that you are along for the ride. And yeah, I guess see you next time. And we will announce probably in a couple of like a week or so, maybe our next call when we have more news to share.
Or maybe tomorrow. Yes.
Okay, maybe tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thanks for tuning in.
Ciao.
See you next time.